Okay, so this video is going to be in two parts. First I'm going to talk about my ear stretching journey, and then in the second video I'm going to show you my jewellery collection. I don't normally do videos about this, but somebody asked about it, so I thought, why not? So I'm 23 and I started stretching my lobes when I was about 13. It's too early, I wouldn't suggest it. Just so you know, at the moment this is about 19-20mm, or about 3/4 of an inch, and this at the moment is 16mm, or 5/8 of an inch, and I'll explain in a bit why they're different sizes. So the majority of my stretching I did wrong because I didn't really know what I was doing, or the information I got it from was maybe a bit too lax with time. So when I first started I used tapers. So if you should have got one out, I'll just get one out. This is a metal one, in fact this is an insertion pin, but it will kind of show you the sort of shape. Yeah, I'll show it like behind a receipt. So they're generally like this shape. You've probably seen them like plastic ones, but with a far more dramatic change in size. So I went to 5mm like very quickly, and then I took them out for a few months and started stretching again. Again, this is when I was about 14. So I used tapers until about 8mm. I ripped my ears several times. I've had quite a few blowouts on them because I just got extremely impatient, couldn't wait at all to get to the next size, and my ears ended up blowing out. From 6 to 8, I wasn't meant to go 2 sizes, but I used PTFE tape and kind of accidentally went 2 sizes, and PTFE tape is what I used until my ears got to about 20. That was over a few years. Again, I feel like using PTFE tape was a better thing for me to use rather than using tapers or other things. At one point I put masking tape on a taper. That did not work. Yeah, so PTFE tape at the time worked better for me, so I did that up until my ears were about 20ish. This ear, was because I had both my ears done with a gum when I was about 5ish, and this one in particular was done too low at an angle. So when I got to about 8mm, it was clear that it wasn't going to be able to go much further. Like, even if I could, it was just far too low. So I had it scalpelled from 8 to 16, and then from there it kind of self-stretched to 18, and then I stretched it to 19. Like if you have your ears scalpelled, they stretch far easier. So skip to when I was about 20. I went on a different forum and kind of read new things about maybe how long you should wait between stretches. Previously on the forum I was on, people said at least 4 weeks, but the longer the better, so I went, well, 4 weeks is the minimum, I'll go with that. Which is why sometimes I had ripping, even if I did stick to that, because really it's just far too fast. So I think when I was about 21, I made the decision to take the jewellery out completely, and I had them naked for 6 months, and then started re-stretching. Again, as this one scalpelled, it went back up within a matter of months, or maybe quite a while, because it shrunk down to about 14mm-ish, or 9/14 of an inch, I think that is. So yeah, this stretched up relatively quickly. This year, so this time last year, or even this time March last year, it was 16. When I was thinking of going, it was 17. And when I was thinking of going to 18, a mosquito bit my ear, my lobe while I was sleeping, and I have quite a dramatic reaction to their bites. My ear just swelled up, and I couldn't get any jewellery in it, so I just had to leave it until I could, and that was it was long enough so that it went back to 16, but then after a couple of weeks 17 went back in easily, And then like I move around a lot when I sleep, and I think the jewellery caught or something and I had a blow up. And since then, every time I've tried to go up to 17, it just hasn't happened. Even when my ear's been really loose and the jewellery's gone in fine, a few days later it's clearly not happy. And I don't know if this is because I move around a lot when I sleep, or if my ear just wasn't ready. In the future I will be using a travel pillow, so like a donut shape, so that, you know, my ear won't catch anything, and hopefully I can progress, because I would like my ears to be the same size. There's not really much to say. I just went far too quickly with my ears. I would have really benefited from going a lot slower. In hindsight as well, I wish I let this ear close up completely and had it re-pierced. But at 5mm it was already quite clear that it wasn't going to be able to go very far. And I tried to let it close up, but because I'd stretched too fast, all the blowouts had built up too much scar tissue for it to completely close. It only really went up to about 3mm, and then it just never went any smaller. So that's why I got it scalpelled in the end. I would have loved to have had bigger ears. I think my ideal goal would have been like 25mm, an inch, or 28-30. As I've gotten older, my tastes have kind of changed, and I actually really appreciate larger lobes now. But there's really not enough skin around this ear to allow for it, so I'd rather stay at a smaller size and it be healthier and safer, so less chance of it ripping, etc. And also because I've got I'd say a fairly sizable collection. I've spent a lot of money on it, so I really don't want to have to kind of sell that and then try and get try and rebuild it, especially if some of the pieces I have are discontinued or one-offs. So it would be, I think, more time and effort than it was worth, and I can't even do it because of my little lobe. I also have a stretched conch, septum. I've got two off-centre tongue piercings, and I had them both at 4mm. And the ends that come with that are quite big. They were 8mm balls. And I noticed after a while that on my bottom jaw, like behind my teeth, there were like dents from where the balls had been sitting. And I was worried about gum erosion, so I put them down to 1.6 at the standard size. But even now I'm seeing like dents, and me and my boyfriend have realised that in my sleep I move my tongue around a lot, which hits my teeth, so I'm actually going to have to take them out soon. But if you want to know about my septum or my conch, you can comment and I can do like a little video about that as well, if you're interested. Thanks for watching Go Afro, come back next week.